Hello and welcome to Up to Speed Live. I am Diana Alvear and thank you so much for joining us today. And before we get to any news, we really need to start with the devastating situation in India. Earlier, we recorded a special message with Christy about what we're doing in India for our VTeamer community. Take a listen.
Christy, welcome, and let us know, with the continued impact of COVID-19 throughout India, what do you want our VTeamers to know?
First, for the VTeamers in India, I just want to say we know that this is an incredibly challenging and devastating time. First and foremost, my heart goes out to anyone who's been affected by COVID-19. The health and safety of our employees, as always, is our top priority. And we realize that with the case numbers surging across the country, hospitals and the health systems are overwhelmed and lack the essentials to care for patients. And so to help you and your family, Verizon is mobilizing on multiple fronts to support your well-being and health.
That's so great to hear, Christy. And so can you tell us a little bit about the resources that Verizon is providing to our VTeamer community there in India?
Yeah, let me break down a couple of things that we have. First, I want to talk about telemedicine. We've arranged for telemedicine services for the VTeamers in India so that they can connect with medical professionals from their home and receive care and consultations. Second, we've got supplies. We also want our employees to know that we've got the right tools for an effective telemedicine visit. So we're going to be expanding our reimbursement program to help cover the cost of items such as digital thermometers, pulse oximeters, and spirometers. And more details will be shared shortly and directly with the employees in India. And we have a helpline. So we've developed this for our VTeamers so they can ask questions and receive support 24/7. And this will get people direct access to information that they need to stay safe.
And Christy, can you tell us a little bit more about the internal support and resources that we have for our VTeamer friends in India?
Thanks, Diana. Yeah, one of the things we want to highlight is, first, we have a care management team. So we developed a care management team that provides support to anyone diagnosed with COVID-19. And this team can help you submit for your leave if that needs to be taken care of, or find a hospital bed, or access in-home treatment. In addition, we do have our COVID-19 employee resource page. And so additionally, there we have other information and internal resources like our COVID-19 employee resource page, which has the latest information so that VTeamers around the world can stay informed and be aware of changes as the situations evolve. And the third thing I want to share is we have our employee assistance programs. We realize the situation is immense and taking a huge mental toll for our employees. And so we have EAP services available, and they're there to provide whatever support our VTeamers may need.
It is so good to hear how comprehensive our support is for our VTeamer community in India. And, I know you just got vaccinated. I myself have been vaccinated, but we know that vaccine distribution varies from country to country, including access. So can you share the latest on how Verizon is supporting those vaccination efforts in India?
Yeah, that's a great question. So first, I obviously feel very fortunate. About a week and a half ago, I met the eligibility criteria to be eligible to get vaccinated here. And obviously that's a great benefit. And I realize many places around the world aren't at that stage in their deployment of the vaccine. So I want to just speak specifically about India. Right now, the Indian government controls access to vaccines, and they're in a constrained environment. We are speaking with hospital systems and third-party resources to see how we can advocate for our employees and hopefully open up additional distribution opportunities. In addition, we continue to work with regional officials to support larger vaccination efforts and advocate for a greater global response. For example, I was pleased to see that the United States is offering 60 million doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine to other countries, including India, Brazil, and other nations. And this is really a step forward to show that we've supported and in which ways we're very welcome to see happen for the U.S. helping around the world.
Yeah, indeed. It truly is encouraging to see everybody stepping up to help. And, once our VTeamer community in India has access to vaccines, what procedures should they follow?
Earlier this week, we sent a communication that outlined our COVID-19 policies related to vaccines and contact details for telemedicine. Specifically, Verizon will reimburse for the COVID-19 vaccine for you and your dependents covered by our medical insurance plan. Employees can also take up to 4 hours leave to attend their vaccination appointment and have the time and the support that they need in that process.
That is fantastic peace of mind for our community there, because as we know, the pandemic is taking a devastating toll on this country. I mean, I'm heartbroken to see the headlines that are coming out of there. So what are we as a company doing to support COVID-19 efforts across the country?
And, Diana, this is a great question, because we know our employees in India are concerned, and we know our employees around the world in other countries are concerned, and they want to know what they can do to help. And we realize that to get to the other side of this crisis, it will require a larger societal response. And so to support those on the front lines of combating COVID-19, we are making a $100,000 donation to the Red Cross. In addition to that, we're offering a 2-to-1 match with our employees for up to another $100,000. And so we will continue to advocate and use our voice as a global organization to encourage greater support and engagement from officials. And hopefully this will give VTeamers a way that they could contribute, as I know many are interested in knowing how they could support people in India.
It's incredible to hear just the scope of things that we're doing on the ground there and from afar to help our community there. And it really makes you think, about how this health and humanitarian crisis is making our purpose so clear, that we are here to move the world together. And that means caring for one another and holding one another up during hard times. So, Christy, I want to offer you a moment to just share some final thoughts.
I think it's really important in times like this that we remember the strength is in our network and our community. And all of the V team is here for the V team on the ground in India. And we remain dedicated to supporting you and your health and your well-being and your families. As the situation unfolds, we're going to continue to meet with your leaders and also offer additional support to help you and your family get to the other side of this crisis. We're actively engaged in benchmarks with other large employers and staying on top of what are the latest developments, so we constantly make sure we have the right support and offerings for our team there in India. And finally, please reach out to your managers, the COVID-19 hotline I mentioned, or your HR team members to get more information or have your questions answered.
Well, Christy, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about this response, and just hearing about all the things that we're doing is so encouraging for everyone. And to our VTeamers in India and across the globe, we're just going to have to continue those safety protocols, the hand washing and the social distancing and the wearing of masks. And it feels like we've gone through so much, but we can get through this. We just have to stay vigilant. So to all of you out there in India, especially, we hold you in our hearts. We stand with you, and we will get through this together. Thank you so much.
So that was a special message recorded earlier for our Indian teammates, and also to let all of you know everything that is going on that Verizon is doing to support our teammates there. So, Christy, thank you so much for walking us through our comprehensive response. And we also want to reiterate that we are making a $100,000 donation in support of the Indian Red Cross. And keep in mind that we are proud to have that match program to double the impact of your donation of $25 or more. So employees are eligible for a match of $1,000 a year to eligible nonprofits. And this is one way that you can directly help our friends in India on the ground there at a time of crisis. Now, our beloved friend and up to speed teammate Sravya has a personal connection to this crisis, and she spoke with a V-teamer to see how things are there on the ground.
It's heartbreaking to see what's happening and to know that even more than a year into the pandemic, we're seeing new surges and variants around the globe. Well, I've been checking in with my own family on a daily basis. I wanted to check in with our Verizon family in India. So here's Mubin Sultan from the Verizon India communications team. Hey, Mubin.
Hi, Sravya.
So I want to start, how are you doing?
I'm okay. Thank you so much for checking in. It's not easy staying motivated in these times, but I'm trying.
How is your family doing?
Some relatives of mine are very badly affected by the virus. And it's been 13 months since I last saw my husband, who is a doctor in Spain. Through all this, it is comforting to know that my parents are fully vaccinated, which means that they got both the doses of the vaccine. And the best news for today is that my grandmother is back home after a week in critical care. So it's a mix of emotions.
You know, I've been reading in the news, like, and seeing the images, and, you know, being, you know, born and brought up in India, it's horrifying to see what's happening there. And, you know, like, I was telling a colleague yesterday, every time the phone rings, like, I'm just, the entire family is just scared to hear news or hear what's going on. So, like, how are you responding to that? How are you, like, you know, confronting what's happening right now?
It's very difficult, Shravya. My house, I'm surrounded by 3 major hospitals, and I hear an ambulance siren every 5 or 10 minutes, and that is very difficult. So I think we are all a little shocked and overwhelmed by how fast and hard the second wave of the pandemic hit us. And we are all experiencing a wide range of emotions, and that can be very exhausting. I think we are also eagerly waiting to be vaccinated.
Yeah, and I know, like, you know, summer is such a festive time in India. It's Ramadan season right now. It's, you know, mango season, which is one of my favorite season. It's wedding season. Like, there's a lot of, like, things to do. So I think, like, everyone is just, like, what I'm sensing with family or friends in India right now is they're just exhausted, and they're just, you know, they don't know how to handle everything. What are you hearing from, like, your colleagues or your friends and family? Like, how are they dealing with things?
So it's the first summer or the second summer, I believe, where we have not spoken of mangoes, the best mangoes, where they're coming from, or, you know, weddings or all the nice things. There is no excitement about Ramadan. It's a very, very silent affair. So this is very different. Most of our conversations, you know, who is affected, how can we help them, what help can we, you know, offer to people who are already suffering, talking to friends, and, you know, just taking care of our mental health by, you know, just keeping in touch. And most of our conversations are around this and about getting vaccinated.
Mubin, you're just talking about mental health. How are you, you know, taking care of your mental health during this time?
To Sravya, I'm afraid I'm not able to do as much as I like about my mental health. It's a very difficult time. I have not, you know, felt this fear or anxiety before. So all I'm doing is talking to friends, talking to family, trying to take it really slow, one day at a time, breathing, and just staying positive and hoping everybody tests negative. And keeping in touch with family, I think, is the biggest help I'm receiving.
And I know, you know, we chatted just about this time last year, when your husband was in Spain and they were having an incredible surge in that area, and you were saying almost the same exact words. You're terrified for your husband to be, you know, miles away, hundreds and thousands of miles away. So how is it, like, seeing that and then immediately, like, you know, experiencing something like this in your own country?
Right. So we didn't expect this. We were reading about the second wave and third wave and even fourth wave in some of the other countries. Like in Spain, they just, I think, came out of the fourth wave of the pandemic. And in India, we were very happy about the curve flattening or being close to flattening. And we did not really expect this. We were also not prepared. There was no news about any preparation for the second wave, and everything escalated really fast. So 2 weeks ago, it felt like things were normal and we could still go out and still see family. But now things are really different. Now we are asked to stay indoors, take precautions, maybe even wear a mask at home if there is somebody who is COVID positive or exposed to a COVID positive patient. So this is very different from what it was like last year.
So, Mubin, what's your message for the V team?
My main message, Sravya, is that everyone gets the vaccine and that we are all vaccinated. It is our only tool and weapon to fight this pandemic. So my hope and prayer is that we all get vaccinated very soon.
Like Mubin said, the pandemic is far from over. Please stay smart, stay responsible, mask up, socially distance, and if you can, get vaccinated. We're all in this and we will move forward together.
Wow. Wow, that was really impactful. And to hear Mubin explain how things really are on the ground. I mean, news is one thing, but to hear that, you know, you're hearing sirens every 5 minutes, it really brings home how difficult this is. And, you know, we specifically want to let all of you watching know that we have heard you asking about what you can do to help India. And I want to reiterate again that you can donate to support the Indian Red Cross. Verizon will match it 2 to 1, up to $1,000. My thanks to both of you ladies for opening up and telling us the truth about how things are there. And to my friends in India, we see you, we are with you, we are praying for you, and we will do everything we can to help. Okay, so we are going to move to some news. We're going to start with this week's highlights. So starting on Monday, we had Christy on the show about the why and the how of Work Forward and what this means for all of us as VTeamers. Really substantive stuff there. Tuesday, we explored the Verizon story, the moments and milestones that have made us what we are today. And yesterday, we checked the good mailbox for great stories about tree planting, volunteering, and kindness. So we're going to stick with the kindness theme since that's a big one these days. So after the tragic mass shooting at the FedEx distribution center in Indianapolis about 2 weeks ago, our local team wanted to do something, and this is amazing. So solution specialist Tyler Morton, general manager Jasmine Shelton, and the rest of the 350 Massachusetts Avenue team put together snacks and treat bags as a thank you to show support for their local FedEx and UPS partners. So we want to thank you, Tyler, Jasmine, and team for doing such good at such a tough time. So we're going to turn to some business news now. We are kicking off Small Business Days. I'm sure you've seen Wendy Tossetto posting every day with that rundown, letting us know, you know, how much time is left until this kicks off. Well, Amy Novak spoke to our Andy Choi about what it all means.
All right, let's get excited for Verizon Small Business Days. Amy, let's jump right into it. Tell us more about Verizon Small Business Days.
Well, thanks for asking, Andy. I would love to talk about Verizon Small Business Days. So Verizon Small Business Days runs through May 7th, and it's really an opportunity for our business team and consumer team to formally invite our small business customers back into our retail stores where we can have really robust conversations. We are offering personalized, complimentary tech and security evaluations. We have awesome offers that will go throughout the entire event. And I have to tell you, the team's super excited about working with small businesses in their local communities, not just to help them to recover, Andy, but to help them thrive.
It's all about supporting communities from a holistic standpoint here, and this is what it does. So let's talk about some of those small businesses who obviously have been through a lot. There may be some who may not be comfortable coming into the store. How are we supporting those small businesses?
Yeah, it's a great question. First of all, Andy, the customers that are comfortable, I just want to address this very quickly. Our Verizon consumer team has spent the last 14 months focused on safety protocols. So if you come into our store, you have to wear a face covering. We disinfect all of the surface areas frequently. We practice social distancing, and they've also implemented touchless retail standards. So they did all of this over the last 12 months to make sure that our employees were cared for and that our customers are safe. But specific to your question, for those customers who are not comfortable sitting face-to-face yet, that's perfectly fine. We have small business account specialists that will be as happy to meet virtually as they would to meet face-to-face. And we make it super simple for our customers to set up an appointment. So if a business customer wants to set an appointment, they can go onto the Verizon.com site, select business sales appointment. When they do this, they have two options. They can either go into the store or select a virtual meeting. And when they select a virtual meeting, we get in contact with them, make sure that we have a time that works for both of us, and we set up a video meeting over our world-class Blue Jeans video platform. I had to get a plug in there for Blue Jeans. So Andy, the bottom line is we are ready to meet customers, whether it's in the store or virtually. We're super excited. We want them to feel safe and comfortable regardless of the choice of setting. So to my fellow V-Teamers, I will ask for your help in spreading the word about Verizon Small Business Days. Let's take to social media, to Instagram, to Twitter, to LinkedIn, and use the hashtag, I'll make it super simple, Small Business Days. So Andy, we are super excited to make this a success, not just for Verizon, but for the small business customers that have come to depend on us throughout the United States. So thank you for the questions, and thank you, V-Teamers, for your support.
Wonderful, Amy. And once again, Small Business Days goes until May 7th. It is in all of our Verizon stores across the country. I'm looking forward to using the hashtag Small Business Days, just like you said, Amy, and truly help deliver the passion that you've brought to this conversation. We know that it's reflected in all of our V-Teamers work when it comes to supporting those small businesses. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Andy.
Man, Amy rocks as a spokeswoman for Small Business Days. You've got me pumped and ready to amplify on social media. Thank you so much to you and Andy. By the way, today is a very big day. It is our first ever release of a human capital report. So what is that? It details the programs and practices that help our employees thrive at work and in life. From recruiting the best talent to creating an inclusive culture, this report is a reflection of our longstanding commitment to be the best place to work. It was a huge undertaking, and congrats to my teammates, Rebecca Laming, Jennifer Bennett, Christine D'Angelo, and so many more who worked so hard on this report. This is fantastic. Let's talk 5G. We always want to talk 5G. Verizon and Snap launching the second AR landmarker experience from their 5G innovation partnership. Verizon's 5G ultra-wideband, along with Snapchat's augmented reality technology, transformed this mural on Abbot Kinney Boulevard in Venice Beach in the Los Angeles area into an immersive experience about the National Wildlife Federation's hashtag Save LA Cougars campaign to build the world's largest urban wildlife crossing. So cool. And Verizon is working with GE to bring 5G ultra-wideband to GE's research lab in New York. So with 5G on the premises, GE researchers will be exploring how 5G can transform healthcare, aviation, and energy through remote patient monitoring, wireless real-time control of wind farms, and predictive maintenance of connected aircraft engines. Bet you didn't know that 5G could do all of that, and we've got so much more to come. All right, so if you need a new tablet, and I have two small children, so I always need a new tablet, there's good news. Beginning today, customers can order the new iPad Pro. Yes, the one that was blowing up on everybody's timelines and Twitter feeds. It features the breakthrough M1 chip and 5G with availability in the second half of May. And you can also get up to $200 off with an eligible trade-in. And you can also now order iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 mini with 5G in purple. So Prince fans, this is your chance. In addition to the all-new AirTag that you've been hearing so much about. So both are available in stores and online today. Treat yourself. We love Verizon swag, right? Well, we have good news on that front too. You're going to want to check out the new Verizon brand shop. It's a one-stop shop for branded Verizon gear from our approved vendors. And with each purchase, our vendors are giving back to organizations we support, like B2V, the National Urban League, Digital Undivided, and more. And each month, we're going to have a new featured item on the site. And for our international V-Teamers, you can get your swag too. The international shop will be live in June. So let's talk a little bit about emergency broadband. We are talking about our commitment to help vulnerable communities and bridging the digital divide. So beginning May 12th, Verizon customers affected by the COVID-19 pandemic can sign up for the emergency broadband benefit program through the government. Qualifying customers will temporarily receive monthly discounts up to $50 a month or up to $75 per month on tribal lands. And for more details and to check eligibility, you can head over to getemergencybroadband.org. It is so nice to be outside these days. I mean, here it's super windy in Jersey today, but it's been fantastic. 70s, sun, awesome. Well, we have something that you can do outside in June. We are hosting a national virtual 5K from June 5th through 13th for mental health awareness outreach, partnering with Find Your Anchor. So we're encouraging those who are interested, sign up now. We're going to have all of the details linked in today's story. And finally, we always like to leave you with inspirational stories about our inspirational V-Teamers, and today is no different. This one is really beautiful. So The U.S. Paralympic Cycling Open was held recently in Alabama. Kyle Pittman, who supports the Verizon Business Group, raced and brought home 2 gold medals. And as a result, he has been invited to race with the U.S. team in the Paracycling World Cup being held a few weeks from now in Belgium. So his performance at that race and upcoming time trials are all that remain to be invited to race at the 2020 Tokyo Olympic States. Our V-Teamers are amazing. They're always doing awesome things. Kyle, we are so excited for you. We are rooting for you. And again, I just want to circle back to how we started this, talking about the situation in India. We care so much about our friends there, and we wanted to let you know that, yes, Verizon has a comprehensive response to it, but also that you can do your part as well. And we want to encourage you to donate to support the Indian Red Cross. Verizon will match it 2-to-1 up to $1,000. So you can do a good deed today, go into the weekend, be with your loved ones, virtually or otherwise, and feel like you've done something to move the world forward together. I'm so grateful to have all of you here with me today. I'm Diana Alvear. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, you're up to speed.